Hey everybody, it's PD from the Spin Rack. We also have,
Calvin Ellis, ready to rock.
well, we have a new trailer for Captain America Brave New World from Marvel Studios. We are going to react to it, and since Mars is here, we're going to be on our best behavior about this. All right?
Yep.
Cal, here we go.
Yeah. Well, let's go.
You asked for me. Here I am. You want to help me? Is there anything you remember? Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Thaddeus Ross. Whatever this is, Cap, be careful. What do we know?
There were 5 shooters. This was a coordinated terrorist attack, sir.
I was a wartime general. Now I'm a wartime president. Your inner circle's been compromised. Let me fix it. Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers. You're right. I'm not. Wait for it. We're on the brink of war. I can't trust anyone. Nothing about this feels right. Captain America. You ever ask yourself who's playing who? Someone's been pulling the strings on everything. You're under arrest? I don't want a variable out there that I can't control.
Stop!
Captain America caught without his wings. You like to play dress up and blindly execute the state's orders.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
What if this is a trip? You don't even know what this is.
Since when were they red?
You want me? Come and get me!
So, what do you say, sir?
Well, at this point, I'm hoping that the story is solid. Though I will admit, having seen the trailer a couple of times now, this looks like it's going for the standard. There's got to be some sort of government espionage conspiracy, which with Captain America, I'm a bit tired of. I mean, the first movie was pretty much his origin story. And then the second 2 movies were government conspiracies or fighting against the government. And I'm like, can we just do some superhero stuff? Cap is a superhero, not this, government agent all the bloody time, even if he does do that, here and there. So I would have rather have seen something along those lines, especially since this is going to be Sam Wilson's first outing as Captain America. But I guess they figure as long as you got America in there, the best thing they can do for the character is have him fighting against the government. So at least people would think that's cool. And then what's that good line? Captain America caught without his wings. Cap doesn't have wings. We both know this. No, you say Captain America caught without his shield. That's what you want to say. Captain America caught without his wings. Like, no. That's when you start turning him into, what do you like to call him? Falcon America? That's what he is when you do that. No, Captain America's about the shield, baby. It's about the shield.
Well, I think what they're trying to do with that and having Mantis call him Cap is for us to start seeing Anthony Mackie and saying Cap, like we do, original Captain
Not
America.
Not going to happen.
So, for me, I would have to say that they try to have, because this thing with the titles here, they try to have a little of Doctor Strangelove, because that's how Doctor Strangelove was like a lot of titles, and that was obviously about the government and stuff like that. So they're trying to do that with these titles that they have here. The thing that my first issue is the same issues I've always had with Falcon America is that now we're also trying to put him up against the Red Hulk. Now the Red Hulk, regretfully in the comic books, was the most powerful of the Hulks for a period when he first came out, when there was a big mystery of putting. Now I don't. They can't act like they're trying to make a mystery out of this when it can't be anyone else besides who we know it is, Thunderbolt Ross, just like in the comic book. So they're not trying to. Well, once you have an actor in that role, there's nothing you can get around to try to do that. With the comic book mysteries are really hard to do. So it would be easier to try to take a character and make an amalgam with something else, so you could kind of get a comic mystery in there. But it's really hard to do. So then the problem with that, if you're going to go Red Hulk, now Red Hulk should, even in this universe, I'm not asking for him to be smarter than Bruce Banner or any other Hulk, but at the same time having him go up against Falcon America? No, I'm not buying this. And this goes to the classic Marvel thing where they try to do the David versus Goliath. But actually, David is a little more powerful because now they've added all of the Black Panther stuff to the Falcon. So it's like, here we have another person whose Marvel characters used to be not suits that you could all put on. Iron Man was that, but that's why Iron Man also had the thing of the heart, or at one point he can't walk, or his nervous system was a mess. There was something to Iron Man in needing the armor. Now if you just keep having these heroes where they all put on different armor, like, okay, Batman can put up armor that can fight Superman. Like now the Ant-Man actually is not taking any pills. He's got a suit that makes him smaller. The Wasp also has a suit that she gets smaller in. It's like the actual tactile thing of the person having the power is gone. And at the same time, because Captain America walks around with no mask, only because he was around in the 40s, and they also tried to give him back his secret identity. But it's just trying to do the thing that really got on my nerves, which was okay, we lose our surprise when we look at these stories, whereas Marvel, the old Marvel and the X-Men and some of the other comic books of the 80s, the Titans, where they fight people and you didn't really necessarily know they were going to win because of how they weave the stories. Even though the hero's supposed to win, how do you get there is what the Marvel, the Stan Lee and Jack Kirby was trying to figure out, and what the people in the 80s were saying. Okay, how do you make a cliche not seem like a cliche? And at this point, in doing this Falcon America, it's just saying what people say when they read Spider-Man every day. How is Spider-Man going to beat this person up? So I want to see how cool he is. And it goes taking your Mary Sue and kind of making them the nth level. So it's like, this is our hero. You want to see how this happens. So I do not like this aspect of it. This trailer is a little bit weaker than the other one because it's kind of toned down. And what else I wanted to say about this? We haven't talked yet about all this section here. Now there's something going on. They're shooting at something, or they're shooting at the Falcon. But when we get back to these scenes with the Eternals, right? This is the Eternal thing with the hand, right? They're saying our world at war, but it's not, this looks like something's going on. I thought it might have been a ship the first time I look at it, but it's the hand, right? That's what's going on here. The hand from the Eternals that's sticking out the ground. This is why these things are flying around, and we got this hand. So, do you think the Eternals are going to play any part of this?
No, I don't. I think the hand is still there. They didn't get rid of it. Oh, whatever.
So they got the hand in the air, and
The
somehow
hand shouldn't be there. The hand shouldn't be there anymore.
that's the thing. The hand is here, or I don't know if Cap is trying to protect the hand, or whatever he's doing because he keeps deflecting missiles, or are they shooting missiles
No,
at
see,
him? Hmm?
no, they got to get out of. They have to get out of this mentality where there's going to be consequences to every major action or every action at the end of the day, because then you can't go forward with your storytelling. So it's like I think they made a mistake with that whole the blip. For 5 years nobody was here, and the people all came back. That's a mess. That's all you did. You created for yourself a mess. It wasn't a good story. It wasn't a good device for storytelling. It was just a mess, and it shows why it is when they would do storytelling, they were like, no, we got to get this all back to status quo, by the end of this adventure. So whether it's one issue or 12 issues, we got to get back to status quo so we can start these adventures over again, as opposed to, these got to have long lasting repercussions, a la Daredevil, which had repercussions for 30 years? 30 years after one storyline, which is utterly ridiculous with the character, with the character who doesn't age and is being told in a serial format. Just dumb. Even James Bond, at the end of the day, after the adventure, it goes back to status quo. James Bond works for MI6. What's the latest mission? End of story. We don't keep hearing about, what happened like in the movie 17? Like, no, that's done. It's over. We're moving on at the end of the day. So when I'm still seeing the hand, I'm like, no, the hand should have just gone. We don't even have to talk about it. Nobody really cared too much about that movie long term. So we don't have to, look, we don't want to forget these particular things. Like, no, just tell them, like, look, once you stop the process, the hand just slowly receded back to wherever it was. End of story. Because other than that, you got to explain, well, look, if the hand is there, what about the rest? You got an Eternal here. Are we going to get this thing out of the bloody planet? Or are we just going to come over here and deal with the hand? It's too much nonsense. You should not be bothered with this. But they don't believe in secret identities. They want everything to be long lasting because that way people will take it seriously. Yet these are still comic book superheroes. So you're going to get what you get, unfortunately.
Yeah. And this, from the trailer we saw before, it was like, I want to make Captain America like a government, position again. The next thing you know, he walks in, hey, your thing is compromised. You're not Steve Rogers. It's like, well, that's not what you said earlier. If that's your boyfriend, it wasn't last night. That's not what you said. When I came in this place before it got all shot up, and this they said there was like a bunch of other assassination attempts when Lincoln was taken out and Booth was the only one going on. So they are having shades of that. There was a bunch of things happening at the same time. It's like, yo, you just called me in here. Now he's telling me no? Like, F that. Here, take your shield back. I can just keep the armor. I got all the stuff from Wakanda. They hooked me up now. Now Ant-Man can't beat me up. Now I'm the tough guy. I'm not the lame that's hit here to get stepped on by this, but that's what kind of kills it for me here. The Cap, loses the shield yet again. Before he wasn't accepting the shield. Now he's losing it. Sidewinder. The hard part is that this even because GW Bridge, even though obviously terrible name, he at least was a shield agent, but making him Sidewinder is just like I don't know why they would make a Giancarlo Esposito Sidewinder when GW Bridge, as much as you can turn this character into a better shield character. And the other thing is that there's no necessarily surprise to that portion, but at least it's a character that's set up in the Marvel Universe. Otherwise, I've mentioned here another character I was thinking about, just to take the story a little bit differently. But going into the Serpent Society, this is what Captain America 2 was supposed to be about. The secret Serpent Society that kind of infiltrated, so it wasn't actually the government. The secret society, the Serpent Society had kind of infiltrated, but the only other problem is that they were kind of racist in nature, and now they just turned into actual serpent characters. But either way, they're not going to do that. And I'm just saying for having Giancarlo as a character, as one of those characters. But I thought the idea of the Serpent Society would be good. I thought it would be a fun thing because it's not saying all the government's been kind of weeded in by these guys, but they turned it into Hydra. It's like we got Hydra, and it makes sense. But now going to it's like, well, we can't do that because we already did the other thing. But you have, as you were saying, a viable supervillain for the Cap to fight that would be in a bunch of characters that you could have fun with. You could get Crossbones back. Like that would be a fun or Batroc, but they just hey, we're not going to do that. We have Red Hulk. We have something that people will get excited about.
We got a character that has no connection to Captain America whatsoever.
That's
pretty much what we got. Batroc, you can still get a lot of mileage. I mean, Batroc was a staple Captain America villain, and I'll be honest, I couldn't see that happening anywhere outside of the comics at the end of the day. But Batroc was a staple Captain America villain for a while. I don't know if he still is. I haven't seen him in a while. But and Crossbones, works very well. But they don't they treat the villains as one and done, and they're not trying to build like a rogues gallery for those type of stories where it's like, okay, wait a minute, Crossbones is back. Oh man, Batroc again, that type of stuff. They don't want to do that. They think that's silly. So the big story is always going to be some government thing or something's wrong with the neighborhood and who you're going to call Captain America, that type of nonsense. But if they did, there's a whole bunch of Captain America villains that have yet to be touched. I mean, I guess we can't be surprised when you kill the Red Skull in the first movie. I guess we can't be surprised. We can't fight the Red Skull, but we can fight the Red Hulk.
Well, there's two things to the 2 points that you were making that I wanted to bring up is that this also is, the back of Marvel's mind is saying, we really wanted to do a Hulk 2, but it didn't do that well. And at the same time, we can't have a Hulk not do well, and we can at least make money off of the merchandising or whatever Marvel gets from what's the name? Because they're talking about Marvel has the Hulk when it seems like they're going to set up Amadeus Cho to be the Hulk. It doesn't seem like they're setting up Bruce Banner. They're acting like his story's done. So we got to get, because they're saying here, someone I think is also emergency, something like that. It's all like, here's this guy could be Amadeus Cho. And I'm like, oh, I don't want, that's like a Hulk with no tragedy at all. Like, good Lord. But then the other side of it is since it's leftover Hulk story, leftover Serpent Society story, and just put it all together, and leftover we need to have some connection to the Eternals thing, and then we have a movie, which is like, I don't know. It's really, it seemed like it's been slapped together. And Anthony Mackie, as Anthony Mackie coming in, I don't know. They think the name recognition was what the plan was. Set it up in a TV show, put it in a movie. I mean, he's a movie star. At the same time, he's had solo movies. He's starred in them. He's carried movies. So there's that. But at the same time, it's just missing something of having to be the lead and say, this is what I'm doing here. Like, it's
missing leading man quality. That's all it is. I shouldn't have brought that up. This is no slate. It's no slate against Anthony Mackie. Before you people get out of sorts, it's no slate against Anthony Mackie, but not every actor has that quality. Okay, they just don't. Like that. The dude who was in Suicide Squad, who played Rick Flag.
He has leading man qualities, and they don't want him.
Exactly. It's exactly my point. That dude was an Altered Carbon. He's everything that you would have wanted in a leading man. He had the look, he had the build, had the height, could act, everything that you would want in that type of thing. And they don't want to throw anything at this guy. Okay, but he's got those particular qualities. Anthony Mackie, if he had those particular qualities, I think would be fine, but he doesn't. Okay, and that means that you got to have a certain presence on the stage when it doesn't matter who else is there with you on the screen. All the focus is still on you. Okay, and it's not necessarily a height thing either, because I don't know how tall Tom Cruise is, but when Cruise is there, it doesn't matter who's with him. Tom Cruise is your focus. You don't care at the end. You don't care at the end of the day. So there's a leading man quality that I've just never seen. I've never seen with Anthony Mackie. And so when we get to these things right here, I'm like, well, if you Cap, you got to have that quality. Chris Evans had it, and mind you, when I saw Chris Evans as Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four, if you had told me he could have been Captain America, I would have laughed out loud. Like, no way. At the end of the day, could this guy pull off Captain America? Captain America's got to come off like top brass, if you will. But he did it. So that's there's not a particular look. It's a quality, and I have just not seen that with Anthony Mackie in the films that I've got. Sure as heck it wasn't there, and She Hate Me. Haven't seen it there, in what was it, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? Didn't see it there. Or in, and I've seen other stuff that he's been in, and I just don't get that quality off of him. So now when I'm watching this and I keep hearing Captain America, with that repetition, and it goes along with what you're saying. We want, they want us to accept that this is Captain America. Well, I would then go back to the films where Chris Evans was the lead. It's like, how often was he called Captain America? Or, he might have been called Cap or Steve, but how often did he have to be called Captain America at the end of the day? That's the thing. So we'll see exactly how all of this plays out. But as of right now, we got a villain that is not a Captain America villain. We've definitely got some noticeable concern that Sam Wilson is going to be regarded as Captain America. So we'll keep calling him Captain America. And then what is the overall story? And if you're going back to the well again with yet another governmental conspiracy, this has been done already, but it's also been done already by me in terms that I would like to see more superhero style, comic book style stories as opposed to this stuff.
Yeah, and I guess I just don't think they're going the best foot forward with this this Captain America movie. And I think if the Falcon and Winter Soldier, I guess you can't. They're going what they think they can go with, and they're showing their support in this. Cap is the thing is they didn't replace him when he went down in the ice. Right? They did do it in the comic books, but it was still Steve Rogers in the 50s, right? So it's like, because Marvel did that in the 60s, so I'm trying to just mixing up stuff. But at the same time, they didn't, between 1940, and went in the ice, to 2000 and whatever, 2004 or whatever, 5 or 7, they didn't replace him. So what? Because they couldn't find the shield? Well, we didn't have another shield. We can't ask Anthony Stark to make another one. Oh, we got the shield back. Now we can pass on the mantle. And it's just like, you showed respect and reverence to Captain America through all that time. Why is it just like, hey, there's Captain America? Why is this? It looks like something you see at a parade with all this colors and lights and all this other stuff. They overdid it with the costume. No, we're working both of them to try to make me look like they take out the white, like they showed you the white costume early and show you how cool that is because he has some Black Panther effects in it. And then next thing you know, it's like right now, that's the thing I'm gonna get out off of this is that this would be if you're doing like a Netflix new sort of hero and this, that, and the other, and you want to do all these bell whistles, it could possibly work. But when we're seeing Captain America, we're seeing the Falcon, we're saying we're going to just put these two together because he was the Falcon, but there also is another Falcon with him? I don't know. So, and you haven't been saying anything about the other Falcon because I don't know this character at all. His sidekick. You know anything about that character?
I don't. Comics, what's his name? Joaquin Torres? I can't remember. But I don't know too much about him. I just know once Sam Wilson became Captain America, he got tapped to be Falcon. That's all I know. I don't really know too much more than that.
Okay, cool. and and then there's also some woman doing something. We only got a hint of the leader, and that's where you lead your Hulk storyline. But then this woman is flipping, and they got a new person in there where we didn't drag in. Well, I don't know. It could be the Black Widow come out of nowhere, but we know she's dead. So
she's back.
But they have some other woman early on who I don't know what she's doing, but she doesn't look action packed. But they can make anyone action packed. So anyway, that's about it. We'll be back probably when the movie comes out, and we will, hope for the best and pray for the worst.
Pray for the worst or prepare?
Prepare for the worst.
Thank you. Wasn't sure then.
But then with the last word we have to get from Mars.
I'm sad to say that Marvel Comics isn't what it used to be.
Oh no! Say it again.
You want to say it again?
I'm sad to say that Marvel
say it again.
Comics isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
Oh!
Sad
that's
day
Mars.
With Mars. When Mars
That's
says
Mars.
something like that, it's really a sad day.
Hey, what else? It's also a sad day when somebody's supposed to link up with you to do the show and ghost you the entire day, stands you up and dogs you out. That's also a bad thing. And that's not AI.
Luckily, he won't be looking at this episode all the way through. Can't trust him to watch them. So if he watches them, then you can come and get me. I'm here. I'll take that. But as long as I know you're not going to watch it, spin a rack.
We're out.
Out.